That's one hell of a song, isn't it? Hello everybody and welcome back to today's Friday stream. It's great to be back in the flight simulator and Cessna Citation X. Today, I'm just a regular pilot. I'm just a regular man flying my family from Guernsey, small island just south of England, south of the UK and slightly north of France. Flying my family down to Courchevel for a nice skiing trip. So, we'll see how this goes. The plane is not built for this flight whatsoever. It's not really built to land at the airport, and the airport's not really designed to take it. But I've done some reading, and two things can happen. We can fly into Courchevel in this kind of plane if it's one for a private flight, meaning we're not flying this commercially, because the commercial regulations is different than that of a private charter aircraft. And secondly, the actual landing distance is pretty good. We can do this if we apply plenty of braking, plenty of reverses, etc, etc. So I'm gonna hop on it. We've already got the standby power and things on. Citation's looking very good. This will be in the this will be on VATSIM, of course. We're going up to 33,000 feet. The airport of Courchevel stands at about 6,000. So very, very high up indeed. Good to see you all here on the Friday. I hope you had a fantastic week. I'm looking forward to this flight and the one we got planned on Monday. We're beginning a very big adventure on Monday. One which will probably last us for the majority of the next coming weeks. The trip itself would be split over different streams, and it will be continued until it ends. It's going to be great. So yeah, looking forward to that. Cockpit's looking nice and warm. Guernsey itself is quite nice. I had a little fly near the other day just to check it out. Flew around it a little bit. It's very pretty, very green. Just kicking on the APU now. The Cessna Citation. You've come familiar with the streams, you'll recognise the process involved. So APU on. Okay, passengers and well, my family's on board, so we're going to go ahead and get the door closed. Thank you very much, flight attendant. Now you can see this is actually quite a big airport, Guernsey Airport. It's got a 737 over there, Ryanair, Scandinavian Airlines, and then Lufthansa is parked at the bottom, probably in an Airbus. Classic German tail number. And of course, Irish one for Ryanair. But yeah, the airport itself is it seems like an international airport, so not an international one, but a major airport, because obviously it's probably the only one on the island. Generators on the APU, we turn the bleed air on. Let's get the packs on high. Navigation. So it's plus 15. It's not as warm as I actually thought it would be. Preload the flight plan, which I've downloaded. Now, because this aircraft isn't designed to go to Courchevel Airport, it probably, or it might not recognise it in the FMC, so we'll have to just simply fly to the waypoint, which is, I believe, Vannes, and then we'll have to turn the autopilot off and just fly slightly to the airport. By the time we get to Vannes, we'll be able to see the airport anyway. But yeah, Guernsey, saying it's a largest island in the bailiwick of Guernsey. It's in the Cotentin Peninsula, Normandy. Yeah, so it's all there online. Part of the Duchy of Normandy until 1204. There's a bit of history there. Interesting. Oh, okay. So it's not actually classed as, it's not part of the United Kingdom. I thought it might have been. Anyway, you go and have a look online, you better find some information. I know that it's very popular with UK tourists. I know a lot of British people like to go there on holiday. Okay, we're going ahead and load this up. Let's clear this. So we've got flight plan list. Echo Golf Juliet Bravo to Lima Foxtrot Lima Juliet. And then it's saying up on the top right, this flight plan contains an invalid destination airport satisfy the runway requirement for this aircraft. And as I just mentioned, it's because the runway is not classed as being suitable for this aircraft for a commercial operation. But it's actually okay for this aircraft. It's quite short, but you know, I wouldn't fly here in a private aircraft in a Citation. I'd probably fly there in a Baron or something, or even a Cessna. So yeah, we can always change that. No such file. We'll activate that. Let's see if it's done it. So it's come up with the waypoints, taking us to Courchevel. According to SimBrief, okay, it's not done very much on the waypoints. I wonder if we can copy this in. I'll just copy my flight plan into the text box. You can see it. So go on to this one, type it into here. So it's come up with Orville. Destination, Perch, Orville. Oyster. I don't know why Oyster's coming up, it's not even on the list. Navigation, let's just do it this way. So runway 27, we'll go for the Orville departure. 1 whiskey departure. Activate, we'll do it this way because it's probably going to work this way. So Oyster says direct. Check the map. So that's probably just a departure there, or to Orville, and then after Orville we'll have to do all of it ourselves. So Apollo, it's been a while since I've input one of these flight plans manually. It's probably time to practice. And then Uniform November 491. What have I just clicked on? Oh no. It's going wrong, it's going wrong, it's going awfully wrong. Have to type it in again. I don't think this will work because it's not recognising the airways. Apollo goes in, and then we're supposed to put in UN 494, but the thing is with X-Plane 12, it's not very realistic. It claims to be, but actually you can't put these things in, these real airways in. So you go on destination or buy to, okay, so it's done it on that one. As a waypoint, you know, that's taking us off our flight plan. So it should just type it in. It should just type it in there when we're doing the airway. I'll give it one more go. I'll put it on the side next to Apollo. No, still nothing. So I'll have to skip that and just do the next waypoint. Resme. So it's working for the waypoints. Let's try the next airway. 612. Usually airways go on the right and then on the left. See, just click on that, it just takes you back to the menu, so I don't know why it's doing that. Resme, so we'll have to skip that one again. It's a bit of a shame that it's not more functional and working. Again, clicking on it, it's just going straight back. When I'm clicking on buy to. It's not like I'm clicking on flight plan list, which is at the bottom. Oh god. Variety one more time. No, silly game. Silly game. If the developers had spent as much time taking care of the development of the game, it might rather than taking pictures of themselves in planes and flying private jets, it might have come out actually pretty good. Skip. We're gonna have to skip that one, I guess. Direct to mocap. No, unbelievable. It's not working, is it? It's completely, utterly broken. All those waypoints at the bottom which we are missing. Milper. Still not doing it. I have no idea what it's doing. The buttons are broke. The whole thing's broke. Arrival, perhaps. Let's try Venice. Let's just skip all the middle waypoints since it's not going to do it and try Venice instead, which is the last, or it should be the last waypoint. No, it just won't type. It won't type it now. I don't know what's going on with that. That means I cannot put it onto this. Let's just change this while we're at it. Cruising at I think 33,000 feet. Yeah, 33,000 has been filed with the ATC as well. Quite high up. 330. Fuel. The reason that won't work is because of the flight plan. We selected the departure. We've selected it all. It should be in there. But it's wanting us to activate it yet again. Okay, resume. Ogala. Or Ogalo. Lock it. Milper. And there we go, we can't even do that. They get a little bit in there, it started to work briefly, and then you get via 2, and then it just suddenly stops. Let's try and do the initialization. See, it would help if you could actually type things into this. We can't calculate anything at the moment, and it's really, really frustrating. Like, really frustrating that this doesn't work. Especially when it's a route that the aircraft should recognise and the game should recognise. Really off-putting to the experience. We've got the flight plan in, we've got a few waypoints. Departure just keeps, I don't know, just keeps vanishing. Keep selecting it, just keeps vanishing. And then we get to this point again where we can type it in, and it just doesn't do it. And then that doesn't work because, guess what? The departure hasn't saved yet again. Activate. Right. Let's just type this LFLJ in. Of course, it won't recognise it. Oh, God. I got a feeling we're going to have to depart the airport because it's not, you know, without a flight plan. Filed, we are supposed to be on VATSIM, so yeah, go figures. We know we're going direct to Venice, it's just not working on the departure and things. It's coming up with Orville, but it won't come up with the other stuff. And it won't seem to save it. I'm going around in circles, it's very, very annoying trying to get this thing to work. Activate. Let's try and do it now. No. Stupid experience. So we can't calculate anything. We can't calculate the V speeds. Fantastic. What a great start to the day. What a great start to the stream. Welcome in. We'll get going. So, picture here, anti-eye stuff on. There we go. Fuel pumps on. Number 1 started, let's go for number 2. Most dangerous landing, well, one of the most challenging landings, not necessarily the most dangerous, is of course Courchevel Airport. I'm experimenting with the sound as well. I've turned up the cockpit sounds inside, so hopefully you can hear it a little bit more. Turn it up some more. I want you guys to hear the engines and the plane. Every time I listen to it back, it's very, very quiet. Okay, engine started, taxi lights on. Can't even set the autopilot because the route won't program, so we can't even set the LNAV. We might be able to do the first part, but after the first part we run our own to Vannes, so we're going to have to, like, we can't even put a waypoint in to find out where it is. Which is really, really frustrating. So one more time, so departure, it's probably not saved it. So no, it's not saved that departure for some reason, it won't save it. Review that and it should save it. Activate. Okay, it's coming up with that one. Procedure, which we already had, you know, in. Let's try. You click on takeoff, nothing's. It's like today out of 4 days, you know, it's just not doing it. Click back to flight plan. It's got it on here as Orville. Now the reason you can't program like the weights and things is because it's not saving it. So, you know, that's why it's not changing the takeoff thing. And now I can't even select it. So it's kind of. It's broke, isn't it? It's broke, let's face it. It's as broke as Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. It's a lot worse graphically. And for someone who wants to play this casually, it would be pretty frustrating to try and work this thing. Vannes. Right, Vannes has come up before Mokip. Go figures. Just go figure what that is and why it's done it. Unbelievable. Ugh. That means we're gonna have to delete Vannes. So okay, that's very that's so silly. Watch this. Enter in. It doesn't replace Mokip, and then when you click delete Mokip, it deletes Vannes. So I think these buttons aren't aligned with the actual thing next to on the screen. Let's turn ignition on. We'll perform initialization. Of course not. Cruise 330. Can't change that either. Surprise, surprise. There's the V speeds. Can't put the weights in though. You can't put the cruise in. There's landing. We know we're landing on runway 22. There's only one landing and takeoff at Courchevel. I can't do the weights. I want to be able to do the weight for other things. Obviously, a more accurate V speed would be one reason. Let's try and activate the LNAV. We'll put it on takeoff for now. Can't put VNAV on, but we'll activate something after. So FMS. Let's get going and let's see what happens. We're taxiing to runway, I believe it's 27. Yep. Taxi lights on. No ATC in range, so we're good to go. Apologise it's taken this long to just get moving. It's, you know, for a route that you want to program manually, it should be easy, but it seems to be impossible. It's easy to just download it if you're going to the recognised airport, and to put the waypoints in if it's recognised, but obviously a lot of them aren't. Can't really say much else in terms of the game. Get our transponder onto random code. There's a chat in the top right there. Someone slept pressing the radio button. Well, I hope it wasn't me. I was awake. Very quiet. There's no one in the vicinity. It's very quiet on VATSIM usually. One 2.2.8 we're tuned into, so I don't think we're really going to cause any issues. Runway 22. It's literally right next to us. Seatbelt signs on. Strobes can go on early. It's only a short taxi. Pre-departure checks. Boost pumps on. Landing lights on. Taxi lights off. Ignition on. Okay, let's turn that APU off. So really, leave the generator on until the actual APU shuts down. That's probably the best thing to do. Cab's looking nice and warm at 18 degrees. I'm going to keep it on cold for now. So the actual supply is 17. It's always interesting to mess around with these cabin controls, and you know, they do actually work on this, which is different to some things I've seen. Obviously 737 you can't really control these things as well. You can still control them, but then you know there's other features you can't control, like the pilot air, the foot air things, etc. Just checking everything else, make sure it's working. We can't do the flight plan. I don't know how far we're going to get. It seems to have taken us to, I don't know if that's Vanos or not. And then after Vanos we're manual. It's saying it's an hour flight on SimBrief. There's tons of aircraft in the vicinity. All these diamonds, blue diamonds, are other aircraft. So yeah, we're ready to go. Put the takeoff on. Oh, it's clear. Guernsey traffic, Charlie 22 Foxtrot Tango, taking off runway 27. There's a warning there because we've not set the flaps. We can still take off. Forgive me. Got a control issue. Yeah, so we couldn't We didn't even have the flap set, which is fine. There's V1, rotate. As we ready to climb, gear up. You see how small the island is, we're already at the sea. There's not much here, of course. I'm not sure why people go there on holiday, maybe there's good food or something. Okay, so it's only set 300 on the altitude, we did select 33,000 feet. Gonna go ahead and climb straight up to our cruising altitude. Nav on. And I've selected altitude and it's selected 2000 again. A real pain on this aircraft. Because you realise when you can't upload those flight plans to the system, you realise just how little actually works on the FMC. So there's our depart turn. We're still using manual control at the moment. Your damper's meant to be on. Order about 2 now. Usually if we had vertical navigation working, you know, if we were able to program it, it would come up with the recommended climb speed and things. If we select vertical speed, we can change it ourselves. So we can always change it, you know, using that, and that'll pitch for the speed we set it to. Okay, ignition to normal. Boost pumps to normal. Emergency lights should be on to armed. Landing lights off. It's pretty much ready to carry on our flight. Can safely accelerate now, probably to about 250, and then cruising speed I'm going to set it about 300. Very steep turn in this Citation, the 30-degree bank. Not much to see out. A few boats, not much to see in terms of scenery though. There's the runway, there's the airport. Very cool. I do recommend flying into Guernsey. It's one of those little niche places that not many people go into, and you know, it's a nice little island to even have as a waypoint if you go on a longer flight. London to I don't know, Barcelona or something. You want to go on a stop at Guernsey. Okay, passing 10,000 feet. I'm gonna turn the autopilot on. Just somebody started pitching down. And you do that sometimes, even though I had altitude selected, it just suddenly pitched down dangerously. So we'll have to climb up. We'll climb about 3,500 feet per minute. Oyster Perch, and this is just the departure route at the moment to Apollo. Once they pass Courchevel, the departure leg is complete, and then Apollo down to Resme, I believe it is, and then Ogla, Vanos, which is our final destination. After Vanos, it's all manual, and we're about to land in Courchevel. Okay, we're trying to turn the transponder on to altitude. That just informs the agency how high up we are. So realistically, agency should never really ask you for altitude if you've got your transponder on. They can see it. And it's not typical to ask for it, especially when you're over Europe. according to the map and to the radar, there's Guernsey. So just, as I say, just north of France, just south of the United Kingdom. So there's Lerac. All the airways are on the map there. Fantastic. Free to step out your seats. Only 6 people on board, myself, the co-pilot, and 4 passengers. We're our family trip, because Courchevel you can't fly commercial flights, and this kind of jet there is simply not allowed. So it's all private today. There's a little bit of a loophole if you want to fly your medium-sized jet into a tiny airport. Just fly your family on a private flight. Incredible, an incredible aircraft, really is. Is there any issues with the stream? Please feedback. Hello, Finders. Nice to see you again. Okay, the aircraft is going absolutely haywire. For some reason it's pitching up and stalling. Let's go ahead and pitch down. That was a close one. Full thrust as well, so let's get the anti-ice on. Otherwise we're going to end up stalling. We are already stalling, that's what the stall warning is, it's the stick shaking. There we go. We'll climb at a steady 1,000 feet per minute. I think the aircraft is just struggling at this altitude to maintain that rate of ascent. literally climbing at 500 feet a minute. I wonder if this speed's dropped because we've got a bit of icing. I've got the anti-ice on, I've got the P2 static heat on, I've turned the engines, stabilisers and slight heats. All the anti-ice is on, so if there's anything there, it's going to melt it. Very interesting. Okay, I'm going to withdraw the flaps. I didn't mention at the beginning, but you know, you're supposed to retract them when you take off. I'm pretty sure I did. It's absolutely fine to climb with them, and it's fine to use them at this altitude sometimes as well, especially if you're struggling to climb or if it's very, very, you know, very high up. And the slats as well are retracted. Excuse me for a moment. I'm going to step away from the cockpit, but it's such a small plane. It's literally a moment, so please give me a moment. Oh, hold on. Before I step away, let's get back on track. We've gone off the flight plan for some reason. More issues with the aircraft, so yeah, the lesson is don't try to input anything manually, because then it won't work. Parley to Resme. Let's get straight to Resme. Now this is, it's not even letting me select the next waypoint, so if I click Resme, it's taking me to the flight plan page. There's got to be something like breaking this and making it non-functional, because I can't fly like this. I can't fly without being able to input data. Flight plan. I should be able to select a waypoint and move it at this point. I can type the altitude in. That's pretty good. If I select Resme, it's just taking me straight back to the load flight plan list, which is down at the bottom. So I can select Apollo. So the top button works, the middle button doesn't work. So it's basically that middle button there is non-functional. It's mixing up the middle one and the bottom one, and making it unusable. Anyway, we're at 33,000. I'm going to put the cruise thrust on. I don't know if we're going to accelerate. I'm a bit cautious now to step away from the aircraft. Yeah, it's very peculiar. The resume option's not moving. Vanos is not moving, which means we can't change our next waypoint. Let's try direct. Direct to resume. There we go. If it lines up on that, I can step away. I just don't want to leave the aircraft on its own if it's not following the flight plan. I don't know if this is because the route is... I mean, the route came up on SimBrief, no issues. You know, it came up and I typed it into the chat box here for the ATC. It's not there now, but I typed it all in, so it's a recognised route. But the aircraft's FMC doesn't recognise it, or recognise many of the waypoints. At least it won't let me enter them, which is really, really, you know, uncomfortable. And then the next waypoint, Resme, and then it should be Vanos after that. Even Resme's vanished from the flight plan now. Can't select arrival, we can't really tune anything. It can't do performance. Strange. Anyways, back on track. I'm going to be back in a second. Okay, I'm back. It would be so good. I was just thinking it would be so good if we could get some more, you know, sim enthusiasts here and general aircraft enthusiasts and X-Plane users who perhaps know or work around for this issue. It would be fantastic. Another option, of course, is just to fly the entire flight manually. Getting another warning. The stream, I thought I'd resolve the stream issue. But it's coming up today. It's telling me it's excellent health, which is good. That's an improvement for the last time. And but it's now telling me, of course, occasionally that it's not receiving enough data or enough video, so it might buffer. I'm not sure why, and then it'll come up with excellent stream. So a little bit all over the place in terms of the software. Like, my streaming experience so far has been alright. I've enjoyed it. I'd say it's definitely better than making videos. You get to do it live, you get to, you know, interact with people. You don't have to edit a video, I guess. I'd like to do some streams in real life, but I can't because I've not really got a phone to connect to the YouTube app to do the stream through, so I just resolved at the moment to doing it on the computer. Now weight wise, we've got 6 people on board, we've got a little bit of cargo in the back. in terms of fuel, we've got this amount of fuel and it's coming up as pounds. You can put it in kilograms, but it'll show up as pounds on the actual game. So in terms of kilograms, we've got just under 4,000 kilograms of fuel, and that translates up there into about 8,640 pounds. Yeah, by the time we get there we should have burned enough off to be able to land safely. There's no auto brakes on this plane, and the speed brakes don't seem to be able to arm properly, so I think we're going to be resolved to using foot brakes. We will use all the braking and stuff available, so we use speed brakes, reverse thrusters. We've only got 1700 feet to stop, or I think it might be less at Courchevel Airport. It's a lot less than is recommended for the airplane, that's for sure. It's one of the most shortest runways in the world. So Courchevel Airport. So it has a runway length of 1700 feet, 1762 feet just about. Now there's no go round at this airport, so we're not able to change our minds at the last minute. If we do need to go around, we'll have to make that decision pretty high up, because if we make that choice low down, we're going to crash into the side of the mountain. The Rolls-Royce engines on the Citation X are definitely going to be providing enough power. The power is not an issue. You know, we'll be descending down to the airport at 6, which is about 6,000 feet. In terms of the Citation landing distance, it's coming up as over 3,000 feet. I read different sources, some of them say as low down as 2,500 feet, but if I can land this aircraft at Sabre Airport, and I have done it successfully without overshooting the runway, then I can land it at Courchevel, because Courchevel is a slanted runway and it provides a little bit more, you know, it provides a better way to slow down than Sabre, which is purely flat airport. We could come in low. I'm planning attitude, it might be better to come in low and then go up, so pitch up towards the runway, and then that way we'll lose a lot of speed before we touch down. As long as we touch down before, or around, I say 120, I think that's doable. It is beautiful. It was looking so fantastic. I just started to do a flight last night from Gatwick to Manchester in the 737. The sky just looked amazing. It was almost like a pastel painting. It was like pinks, blues, oranges, purples, greens. It was amazing. It really was. Find us, do you fly the flight sim? We have White Nights here in Denmark. Yes, White Nights. I only know about that from St. Petersburg. And St. Petersburg's White Nights. And also Riga as well. Basically anywhere in the north. North and then sort of east. Baltic states have good White Nights. So I've seen. Thank you to everyone who's been watching and supporting my videos. Lately I've been doing a little bit better. Not very good on views still because I'm starting out and I realised that these aren't going to be as popular as the videos I was doing before. So thank you to anyone who's watching. And, you know, hopefully over time we can grow the channel and get more views on each stream and more viewers commenting in streams. That would be great. Oh, you never flown them. If you could though, find us, would you fly, you know, would you fly small planes or would you fly the big jets? Yeah, good choice. I get hooked on one plane like at the moment, well before it was the 737 because I'd not been in it for years, so I got back in it and I was hooked. You know, again, so I spent ages in it, they kept doing flights in it. Now I've gone into the Citation X, I've realised how good this plane is, so I'm sort of flying this one more. Same with the Baron, I flew that more because I realised how great it was. So sort of, yeah, I still have that passion there and love for the planes, but it would depend, you know, which one I would want to fly would depend on just how immersed I feel in it at the actual current time, if that makes sense. So I might suddenly go back into the, I don't know, the Vision Jet or the Cirrus SR-22, or heck, even just the Cessna 172, and I might feel like, oh wow, this is incredible, and I'll keep flying it, and I'll just keep doing it. So yeah, all planes basically. Yeah, I'd love to try out a massive plane like the Antonov 225, I think it is. Oh, you have books on different airplanes. That's nice. Which airplanes do you have the books on? Is it? I'm guessing something big and old, possibly. 727s maybe. Concorde. I'm going to try and enter this flight plan again, so we're nearly at Resme. After Resme I think it's direct to Vanos. Yeah, direct to Vanos. Can't see it on the map yet. We're going to attempt to reload the flight plan so we can perhaps, because before when I tried it was coming up as not being an appropriate airport, which is normal. So I'll try it one more time. Now, so you say there, does this airport satisfy the runway requirements? Yes, it does. So we'll understand that. We'll activate the flight plan. Now, because we've activated it, it's gone off. So I might have just messed up the flight plan. Then it's saying no such file. No such file exists. Although it's come up with the departure. And after Courchevel, it's there's nothing on it. So I wonder if you could go direct to Vannes from here. Ogula. Uh-oh. Might have messed the flight plan up, everybody. Just use the heading mode for now. Okay, Resme was our next waypoint anyway, to Overlow, and then Mucket. I'll copy the last bit of the flight plan and show you on the chat. So, flight plan, paste. So there's the flight plan on the left. I don't know why it took us all the way out here though. This was the flight plan that we had planned, we had programmed into the sim brief. Sim brief gave us this, but for some reason it sent us way out here, so possibly that was a waste of time. We're heading in the right direction though. Anyway, going back, Ogula, and then okay. Milper. If you saw the beginning of the stream, you'll see how much of a pain this is to try and get a flight plan in. Okay, so it's actually worked on that. So the top button works as we said. There's the middle one that doesn't. So powers, powers. Won't find it because it's gone back to the flight plan page. Suppose we could just put the Vannes in and skip that one. Vannes. I have no idea where this is taking us. I think we might have to just follow our map because the FMC is not working, it's broken. Non-functional. Kaput. Anyway, that's a cool aircraft finder. It's not one I'm familiar with though. Oh, Russian aircraft manufacturer. Yeah, the Russians have made some fantastic planes, they really have. Tu-154B, of course. I did a few streams in that on my channel in the past. 1st of April there. Or April. Blimey. It's a lot. 100,000. The Russian's Concorde is very impressive. It's not cool Concorde, but it's very, very good competition to the actual Concorde that was built. Now somebody said that in order to put these waypoints into these FMCs you have to load the flight plan in and it will do it. Unfortunately it's not working for me. I have loaded the flight plan in but it won't take me to Courchevel Airport. It won't load the destination into the FMC. Progress. We could do it as a waypoint, I guess. I could do it like that. Maybe that's what they said, put it in as a waypoint. But then there's no way to execute that as a waypoint and to use it as a waypoint in the flight plan. So that's a bit of a pain. Let's try that again, navigation. Wonder if we can copy the waypoint. I don't know what the latitude and longitude is. Nah, we'll have to just follow the route. I don't know, it's taken us well far off. It's taken us up north. I don't have a clue where it's taken us. It's taken us the wrong direction. We're heading north, we should be heading south. Sorry about this, everybody watching. Find us. Makes the flying look silly, but it's not working at the moment. It's completely ballsed up. Yeah, no flight plan appearing. Just a line towards the runway we took off from. And then the light appears behind us again. So confusing. So confusing. That thing doesn't work. Oh god. You know you got a bad day when it starts, you can't even program the FMC properly. Jeez. Antonov 225, yeah, that's the one I was talking about, the one I wanted to fly it on the sim. I don't think you can get a proper model of it on X-Plane 12. Unfortunately, there was only ever one. I read that there was only one built, and it's been destroyed now. So really unfortunate. Yeah, as you say, find this damaged. That's really unfortunate. That was a one-of-a-kind aeroplane. It was amazing. It was massive. It was just like peak aircraft engineering. It really was, and you know everyone loved to see it as well. A testament just to how sort of smart the engineers were and the pilots and the people who designed that aeroplane, because you wouldn't even think a 6-engine airplane that big would be able to take off, but it did, and it flew very, very far across the world, different places of course. We're actually heading towards Charles de Gaulle. I hope we're not going to have to communicate with them in ATC. If we do get asked to contact them, I'm just going to ask for a direct route to Courchevel Airport, and they might give us a waypoint bonus. Yeah, I can imagine that damn Antonov 225 drinking all the fuel. 200,000 gallons. I wonder how much fuel it contained. Antonov 225 fuel consumption. God blimey, per hour 15.9 tons per hour. That's insane. And the Antonov 225 actually landed in Prague as well. So it generally doesn't need that much runway by the look of it. It just needs a standard amount, the type you would expect from an airliner. I can't pronounce the name of it. Amazing looking plane, it really is. Of course, designed back in the USSR and manufactured by Kiev Mechanical Plant in 1998. Sorry, 1988. Set the absolute world record for takeoff and landing. An airlifted total payload. I can imagine that carried quite a lot. It probably carried over aircraft as well. It's here a couple of months before the damage. Oh wow. Did you get any pictures of it? You can see from the map, it's slightly embarrassed because we could have just skipped that turn, but we've gone north to go around Charles de Gaulle. I don't know why, and then we're going down, of course, to Courchevel. So an hour's flight. It's taking us a lot longer, so apologise, but it is Friday. We can all chill out, relax. I was probably better off just doing this direct Courchevel. Transported a payload of 156.3 tons on March the 22nd, 1989. It broke 110 air world records and it became the world record for its turn. Amazing. Since the aircraft's launch, it's logged 3,740 flying hours. The average flight speed is equal to about 500 kilometers an hour. Possible to calculate blah blah blah, some other information there. 84 meters long, 18 meters high, 6-story. It's like 6-story house, a 6-story house with 4 porches. Incredible. So it's basically like a flying mansion. People compare it to the 747, but actually you might be better off comparing it to the Airbus Beluga, I believe it is. A massive Airbus Beluga which looks like a flying whale. The only aircraft that's bigger than the Antonov 225, and I'm not surprised, is the Howard Hughes aircraft. Now, if you know Howard Hughes, he was a famous aircraft designer and builder, manufacturer. Well, he didn't manufacture them, he did and didn't. He made some himself, and he, made other companies make them for him. But he did a really well-known aircraft by Howard Hughes called the Hercules. And that's it was a propeller aircraft and it went on water. You probably recognise it if you see it. Very famous. and that's the only aircraft that's bigger than the Antonov 225, so absolutely incredible. Yeah, sure, find us. Write a YouTube link if you want. Yeah, it was a good film with Leonardo DiCaprio. He did a really good job in that film. Although, to be honest, he's a great actor. He really is. I absolutely love his film. Every time I see a Leonardo DiCaprio film, I know it's going to be an amazing experience. The acting's always superb. The directing, the music, everything is top notch. But yeah, find it. It's absolutely free to post a link in the chat. Okay, we're back on the flight plan. Slight diversion. Airdrop from C-17, Boeing Globemaster, I think that is. Mail ships. Incredible. I'm looking at a picture of it now. It does look pretty small, actually. Must have a lot of power, though. Military aircraft, military transport. It's interesting that the manufacturers of airliners don't have any issue manufacturing military planes either. Always found that very, very peculiar. Boeing manufactures military planes, Airbus manufactures them, Lockheed manufactures them, of course. Lockheed is really old as well. It's oh no, not Lockheed. I'm thinking of another one. There's an old aircraft manufacturer that's still. It may be Lockheed. It may be Lockheed that I'm thinking of, or it may change its name. Lockheed Martin nowadays. Yeah, definitely, and Rolls-Royce is no further to manufacturing things for the military either, which has caused, of course, a few issues. People don't like it. They don't like their association with certain weapons and things. So, you can totally understand that. Yeah, I'm thinking of Lockheed Corporation. That was the original company which then merged. It's saying it's merged with Martin Marietta in March 1995. The original company, Lockheed Corporation, was founded in 1926. And I believe that manufactured one of Howard Hughes' aircraft as well. One of the Constellation aircrafts. Yeah, because the Howard Hughes flew the Constellation for his company, I believe it was. Of course, the Lockheed Constellation is one of the oldest. One of the best, but also I think it's flown by Transworld Airlines. That was the airline, the Transworld Airlines, TWA I'm thinking of. No longer in business, but it was one of the major airlines of the world for decades and decades. Since the birth of commercial aviation, you know, it was at the forefront. Outsourcing defence to the United Kingdom. Why, curious though, finders, why would you, like, your personal opinion of course, but why would you want the United Kingdom to manufacture for the Denmark? Don't get me wrong, the companies of the United Kingdom like Rolls-Royce do a good job, and you know, they sell, not doubting their products at one moment, they sell very high quality products, I'm guessing, and usually put a lot of money into it and a lot of effort, and to get its product shipped worldwide. So yeah, easier for Denmark. Well, the UK at the moment seems to be like wanting to increase its defence budget, so I don't know, in the future maybe, not long from now, United Kingdom might offer contracts to other countries if it increases that budget, that is. You know, if it increases defence budget, there'll be a bigger need to do manufacture things. So it might start forming contracts to sell those to other countries, and you know, NATO countries, that is. %, GDP, that's quite a lot. That's quite good growth there in Denmark. Would you say the economy's getting better? Would you say it's good? Is it, I don't really know what it's like in Denmark. Is it cheap? Is it expensive? Well, no, it's not going to be cheap, but is it affordable at least? Yeah, your economy, you know, your cost of living, prices for food, for bills, etc., for electricity and gas. How's the fuel cost? How's, you know, the price of bread and things? I'd say in the United Kingdom at the moment it is quite expensive. I went shopping the other day and I got, you know, one bag of things, not much, not many things at all, and it came to about £18. Now, for the amount of products I bought, it wasn't worth the money at all. Like a few years ago, the same bag would have probably cost me about £12 or 10, 11, £12. You know, I did delete, I think I told you before, Finders, I deleted all my supermarket videos because I wanted to start doing these plane videos and streams. But the more I talk about it, I kind of want to go back into a supermarket and do a video on it again. USA and UK complains a lot. Well, yeah, I suppose. They do complain a lot. I get on with it, you know, I complain about it. Not a lot, but silently, passively complaining, I guess. USA very interesting in the days because of the tariffs, yes. Although the tariffs are helping to bring those prices down, so I suppose there's a bit of benefit in there for the people. Yes, UK because of Brexit, I 100% agree. The price since they left Europe has been really substantially increased. Of course, we had the pandemonium the last few years and we weren't in a good position then either, so it's like a double whammy for the UK. But the thing about the European Union is we left and we didn't really get any good deals, because if we got good deals the prices would still be pretty affordable. You know. I think in terms of that way it was handled in terms of negotiations, they should have got better deals, because we're paying for the teeth, it seems, to import things. But then again, there's the argument, you know, to produce it in our own country, which I'd like to see. I'd love to see our own country making or manufacturing at least more of its own products and producing more of its food, because at the moment farmers are still being, you know, given a lot of different policies and rules to follow, and it's kind of, you've seen all the farmers protest, it's impacting their work and things. So yeah, anyway, I want to get back out. Maybe I might go out and do a supermarket video again, because it's nice weather at the moment, so I might go out and do that. It would literally be a one-off, and it wouldn't be the sort of thing I want my channel to do anymore anyway. Trying to keep an eye on that. We are en route. We've got quite a bit of a distance to go yet to the airport. We had a 20-minute diversion there. Vannes is the last waypoint. When we reach Vannes, we have to fly the approach manually. We'll have to keep our eye out for the airport. There's LIMC. You'll be familiar with that. We flew that last time. That's a Genoa airport, I believe, in Italy. So we're sort of on the border between the two here. Now LFLJ doesn't actually appear on the map. If I check it on here, we're also going to be passing, we're sort of at the border of France now, so I'm thinking we might be near the waypoint. Yeah, border of Italy's airspace almost. There's Geneva. I'm just reading your comments, Finders. Not very pro-EU, but Denmark is a very open economy, that's good. Trade is always good, I'd love to see it. In and out, that is, not just importing things, but exporting things as well. 6 million, but we provide food for 35 million. That's bizarre, that's a lot of people. We're very good. Denmark's obviously at the top of its trade game. Coffee here, lol. Yes, very much so. Almost record temperatures south of England. Yes, well today it's only 18 degrees in the north. Yesterday and the day before it was 24, 25 degrees, so it's been very, very hot. Very hot and sunny, and it's been, I'd say, ideal actually for a nice swim in the lake. That diversion is actually going to work out quite good. That's going to give us less weight on board because we're burning fuel. Our descent will get down to Milpa to about 10,000 feet, and then we'll be ready for the Vanus to Courchevel. It is finest, but for me, honestly, April is always the hottest month here. I always find April to be the best month of the year. Well, we got Easter, we got sunny weather, it doesn't get much better than this, to be honest. There's the mountains, so we're headed in the right direction. And it's somewhere in those mountains is Courchevel, just tucked away. So the minimum landing distance for the Citation X is 2,800 feet. So that's over 1,000 feet longer than Courchevel Airport, which is a bit concerning. If we can, I'm going to try and dump some fuel, but I don't think there's a dump fuel feature on this. The braking as well is not foot brakes. It seems to be when you apply the brakes on the aircraft in X-Plane 12 that you've resorted to pulling the parking brake. As you can see, parking brake activates when you push the foot brakes, so it's very, very uncomfortable to use it. So there's no flight plan appearing in the FMC, we have got it on the computer in front of us. Direct to Venice. Can we perform any initializations on the system though? Nope. We'll have to estimate our landing speeds, I think. Oh no, it's come up with landing speeds, 131. It's about 136, that's quite a high touchdown speed. Not ideal at all. Should really cite standard pressure as well. It's a little bit unprofessional, but it's a very relaxed flight. We're flying our family down, so I think if we were flying our family down in real life, we'd probably be a little bit complacent as well. So it's very realistic. You can't fly commercially, I'll say it again, you cannot fly these kind of planes commercially into Courchevel. This is a private flight. I'm a rich billionaire, I've got my own jet. Medium-sized jet. I'm flying my posh family down to Courchevel for a bit of skiing. When we get there, if we survive, we'll go for a nice holiday. If not, if we crash into the side of the mountain or overrun the runway, I'll make an insurance claim. I'll take my family to the hospital and then we can get skiing. So we need a slight delay to our summer holiday there, or skiing holiday. Find us. Are you familiar with the aircraft? There's a Russian aircraft that is quite big. I think it's an Ilyushin or something. Ilyushin. I can't pronounce it properly. It's a very big plane though. Still used by commercial carriers today. Is it the Ilyushin IL-76, I think, and then you got like a 96 edition. Yeah, the 96 one is the one I'm thinking of. Russian 4-engine jet, long-haul, wide-body airline designed by Ilyushin in the former Soviet Union, manufactured by Voronezh Aircraft Manufacturer or Aircraft Production Association. I'll post the link in chat and anyone can have a look at it. It looks like it would be the Russian equivalent of a 747, except it's not got two levels at the front, just one. Okay, time to descend. Straight down to 10,000 feet. You can change the rate of descent by adjusting the nose pitch to pitch for a certain speed. So fingers crossed everybody. 6 souls on board. Once we hit the Venice waypoint, we should be able to find the airport. It won't appear on the map. It might appear on this one, but it won't appear on the FMC, the aircraft map. So here we are. There's Courchevel. So we're heading down the airway, as you can see there. As you can see, well, we can see outside there's loads of mountains. We're heading in the right direction. We do need to descend pretty quickly though. There we go. So I'll idle the engine so we can maintain that speed. So straight down the airway. And then when we get down here, we'll hit Vannes, which is a waypoint. From Vannes, we'll take a right-hand turn. LFLJ is Courchevel, and we'll be landing on runway 22 right. So as you can see there, we're plenty of room to descend at that point. A nice 5-knot headwind at the moment, which is good. In terms of landing headwind, we've not got much. We've got 2 knots, 3 knots. It would be ideal if we had a stronger headwind, but you know, it is what it is. We're going to make it or not make it. Fantastic. So fingers crossed, everybody. This is the final stretch now into Courchevel. Good luck. Very hard to switch the switches. But we're going to sit the fuel boost on. The engines are completely idled at the moment. Just to extend the speed brake slightly. When we get to Vannes, the autopilot will probably start to go in circles, so it's best if we hit the heading bug now. We'll follow the heading bug. Remember, it's a right hand turn. There's no indication of the map of the actual airport, so we'll have to keep a lookout visually. In terms of speed, we're, you know, way too fast, way too high up. And the lights on. And slow down to about 250. As you can see there, it's going to pitch for 250 now. That'll help bring that speed down as well. We've got full speed brake deployment at the moment. I'm going to deploy 5 degrees of flaps. Even though we can't go around, I am kind of tempted to do a little bit of a circle before we land at Courchevel. At least that way we can lose a bit of height at the same time. So everybody keep a lookout. We should be able to see the airport within a moment over the mountains. Probably over that ridge. And then descend down to, I think it's 6,000 feet. QNH 1024. That's our cue to disengage the autopilot. I'm fairly familiar with the area, I think I recognise it. So let's go ahead and turn all that off. I'm going to do a circle here. It should be a straight in approach, but we know we got a fast jet. We don't want to play games. Speed brakes can be retracted. Alarm them. APU's on standby. And this will allow us to drop down hopefully to about 140 knots. Landing speed was 136. As you can see, I'll just give it indications. The Vannes waypoint is there. We're going to fly around Vannes and we're going to turn back to the airport. They are beautiful. I hope everyone's brought their skiing boots. Don't forget to put your skis into the luggage department for landing. Thank you very much. Looking quite warm actually at Courchevel. Yeah, +1. I thought it'd be colder than that. We are probably in a danger zone right now. This is not approved flying by any means. This would never be allowed or permitted in real life, so do not try this. We would typically go in from Van Aster straight in, but because we're too high, we've done an illegal 180 turn. Illegal 360.
$1,000.
1,000 feet from terrain. $15 degrees of flaps. So we don't need much thrust. We can pretty much idle the engines and the plane will maintain its speed. So we gotta go right over this mountain ridge and then we're at the airport. When we pass the bridge, I'll stick the landing gear down in full flaps. Remember, we want to go in with a slightly nose up pitch on this one. We do not want to be coming down, pitch down. Still can't see the runway, so we're in a bit of a pickle in terms of location. I thought I recognised the ridges. Slightly off to the left. Don't worry about that, that's just because of the terrain. Here it comes down. Struggling to find the runway. Let's have a look outside the plane. There it is. There it is in the distance. We're actually slightly off to the left, so we have to turn back on course. It's looking alright though in terms of speed. We want to keep the speed nice and low. We'll go full flaps. Speed brakes are supposed to be armed. I'll deploy them just before touchdown. And that should create enough drag to slow us down. Aircraft is very, very sluggish at this speed.
1,000.
Almost
5, 4,
stalling.
100.
Yep, slight drop there in the wing because of the speed. Not the best approaching as a Courchevel I've had. Definitely done this a lot better before. And there we are, we're at a good altitude. We may get a store warning just before we touch down.
1,000. 500, 400, 300, 200, 140.
Okay, there we go. Full brake. Whew, God blimey. Well, we're here, everybody. We survived. I didn't think we were going to make that. We didn't need reverse thrusters in the end. We just needed the brakes. Speed brakes as well. Let's keep that. Yeah, that's why you should never stop on a hill. Fuel bumps to normal. The ignition wasn't on continuous, but that's fine. Taxi lights and landing lights required. As you'll see now, we'll need a lot of thrust just to manoeuvre to the parking bay. There, fantastic. I think if we had landed with snow and ice on the runway, we probably would have skid all over the place. So yeah, thank you. That's been pretty good. Let's hop outside the aircraft in a sec. We'll just park up over here. Ready to get picked up by our limousine, hopefully. Engines off. Anti-ice should be off before touchdown. All of that can come off. Lights. Passenger seatbelt signs. All the bleed there. Avionics. Generators, batteries, standby power can come off. We may leave the emergency lights on. Yeah, so that was actually a really, really good landing. Let's see if we can have a quick look back. Quick watch of the replay. Let's see how good that was. So toggle replay, pray it works. Disconnected from voice server for some reason. Oh, replay mode. That's pretty good. Replay mode disconnects you, so just be aware of that. Okay. Let's fly in. Let's see where we can fly in from. Perhaps here. Let's have a look at that. Very, very cool. Thank you, Congress. Kind of looks like I hit the bottom of the aircraft on the runway, but I think it was just a rough. Just slightly hard on the touchdown. Yeah, too steep. Good God. Well, that was something else, wasn't it? I mean, that replay, we came down and then we touched down way too early, but that's fine. We touched down on the ground at least. So thank you. Yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. It's been great to see you on Friday. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. I'll see you on the next flight. So take care.